'Cause you don't have to wait to love someone. Reach out into space and touch someone. You don't have to wait to love someone. Reach out into space and touch someone.
Now, just to be clear, now that we know all this stuff is going on, and you convinced me 100%. Yeah, we're going to call out some people a little bit. We've got this telecommunicom, which is very cool. Yeah, we can use that. Now,
is that the bat phone?
Yes, it's exactly like that. Yeah,
the bat phone,
great. Now, obviously, Batman was a very cool guy, and he knew how to prepare for stuff. You know, he had all this cool technology. Didn't use genetically engineering either. Spider-Man had to use genetic engineering, didn't he?
No, Batman was just a human.
Yeah, just a human.
Very
Bang,
well
had all that superpowers from technology. Good technology, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Now, there's good use of technology, obviously. So, how to prepare? Very clear. Dave, we were talking about these orgone things, so we just quickly run over some of that technology.
Yeah, I want to say as well, this again came to me in a biblical message. People don't understand how to use the Bible. The Bible is a companion on a spiritual journey, and there's times when if I feel I'm not connected or I need to understand the message, I just open up the Bible at random. First passage I see, I read, and quite often that will give me direction. And this one was quite extraordinary because of all the passages I could read in that massive book, I opened it on the description of the dimensions of Noah's Ark.
Dimensions of Noah's Ark.
Which, of course, we know is all sorts of numbering coding in the Bible. And, of course, the numbers that are mentioned are 300, 30, 50, and 1.
50,
if you take out the zeros, which don't actually exist, you're left with 1335.
1335.
Now, this goes back to the book of Daniel. He talks about the 1,335 days of patience. And that I've taken to mean a kind of period when the waiting for the change comes to an end. And I actually believe that encoded into the date of 3315, the 3rd of March. There was some significant shift there that showed us that we are now in a new age in the end times, basically.
Interesting.
But also,
sorry? When? Is this which year?
This year, 3315, just
really?
this year. Yeah, that's when it passed, basically. So we're now into the true age of atonement. This is what I'm saying to people. They've got to acknowledge what they've done is wrong. But also in that description in Noah's Ark, of course, they'll tell you Noah's Ark is built of gopher wood. They'll tell you this is what's called a hapax legum. There's no other mention of the word gopher anywhere in the Bible. But those Hebrew letters, I know from using the Shugbra key, can be transliterated as copper. And what you realise he's describing, the ark, is an orgone device.
Very clear.
Copper with hemp resin. So you've got the organic and the inorganic and the seal. So what you're basically doing is getting into an orgone accumulator when the poles shift.
Oh, yeah, of course. Now, funny you should say this, Dave, because I've literally just had to go clear out all my stuff from my old house, and I'm just moving things around at the moment. So basically, one of the things I had to pick up was my orgone accumulator. The chembuster.
Yeah.
I run a workshop on chembusting, very successful, and also I've got the whole video on how to bust
chemtrails.
Chemtrails busting.
I saw it.
That's thing I like to do occasionally.
That festival, remember, 2006, I think it was a Sunrise Festival, and the organ accumulators got out.
Yeah.
We looked up. The gap in the chemtrails.
Exactly.
Some guy said, it's a coincidence. So we moved it like 20 yards down, did it again, and made a gap in the chemtrails.
There you go.
So you can see with your own eyes. You can go and check the stuff out for yourself, basically.
Now, the thing is, if only other people had our eyes, why can't they see
it's not
this?
our eyes, it's our initiative. When somebody tells me these things, my first thing is, that sounds fantastic, let me go and check it out for myself, you know? But that's the first rule of Kabbalah. The first rule of Kabbalah, don't believe a word of this, go and road test it yourself.
Yeah, that's it. And once you test it out yourself, you realise that it's all freaking true.
Yeah, but that is the word of a man who knows the truth. He knows, if he says go and check it out for yourself, he knows you'll arrive at the truth and check it out for yourself.
We've always done it. We've always done that, Dave. You and I have always checked out the truth, haven't we? That's why we've been in this truth movement thing, this 9/11 movement thing. Actually, you and I have got quite a cool history, really.
Yeah, no, there's some great things in Kabbalah. The other one is believing is seeing. And people don't understand this one. You've got to be prepared to believe something to see it. And that means that not everything you believe turns out to be true, but the process of putting belief in it will show you whether it's true or not.
Yes, and that's why it's very clear. So basically, you and I believe in God, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
There we are. There we go. So now we've got that basis as a kind of fundamental. Everything else, the whole fucking heavens move from that, don't they?
Well, exactly. Yeah. No, this is what I say about the action, is the masculine action down here. If you're doing it on behalf of God, on behalf of creation, all sorts of things happen that you can't envisage that will come into play. This is why the other model of political activism just doesn't work, No,
we need a new kind of vision,
Yeah, and this is why we're talking about spiritual activism, which you start with the teachings of Jesus Christ and the Buddha shows. You start by looking at your own heart and trying to live in love. Yeah. Once you're doing things out of love, it all goes much further. Now, I go on demonstrations, I see the left, there's people there, they're foaming with anger, hatred. Yeah. And that's not a good place to be. It really is. Now, imagine if those thousands of people got together and did a meditation and projected love to the government, love to the Zionists. Imagine how powerful that. In fact, we know, because I remember doing a meditation at one of the Sunrise festivals on the same time as a Bilderberg thing. Do you remember we were doing that meditation, projecting love to them?
Yeah.
And that was just shortly before my awakening. There was all sorts of good stuff going on, coming out with 9/11 then and all sorts of things. It was a real kind of glory period, really.
All coming together, yeah.
And it's sort of faded away a bit, but that people have got to understand time goes around in a spiral, and when you come back to the same arm of the spiral, similar things happen, basically. That's what the Bible shows you. The Bible repeats events, and people can't understand this who are atheists. They can't understand it because they don't understand the time spiral.
Dynamics of toroids. Yeah, torus forms. Yes, torus forms and spirals are very difficult for the human mind to comprehend. Partly because actually it doesn't really think and imagine things. Like you said, it's about the imagination, Dave. So talking about preparation, basically, let's roll it down. Basically, live in love, prepare with your imagination, and actually just have lots of love, play, and sex.
Yeah, that's basically it. But also, obviously, there's a lot of play and sex, but there's also a kind of a discipline about it. And one of the things to do is to obviously make sure you don't pay into their system.
Exactly.
That's also a big part of it. Usually, totally against God's law. And I say, and all these people tell me, I signed a contract, I've got to pay it back. No, you didn't. You created that money. You created that money anyway, and they stole it off you in the first place. And I would tell you, imagine you're standing outside heaven, talking to St. Peter, and he says, "Did you keep God's law?" And you said, "Yes." And he says, "No, you're a liar. You committed usury. You're not coming in." That's what I'm saying to people. It's up to you whether your fate is in your own hands. But I am telling you that if you come to commit usury, you will not be finding your place come the pole shift in the new world. Simple as that.
So luckily, we've got loads of communities building, so people can step out of that crappy little monetary system and start growing food themselves. Right, well, that's the solution then. Anyway, let's have a pause of consideration, shall we?
Sometimes when I think about it, it makes me wanna cry. You're the friend that I confide in, so I ain't holding on inside. And if we talked, then we would have allowed it to take hold of our lives. So I for one gonna stand and shout it, I ain't gonna take your life.